If you go to our website at www.bonnieeagle.org, go to Parents, Students, either click on Kindergarten Registration Information or Student Registration Information. Once the screen opens up, you'll click on Start New Registration. Enter first name, last name, the birth date of one of the parents or guardians, whichever one is filling out the registration form, the registration year, and enter an email address. If you don't have an email address, that's fine. That's not a required field. You'll then need to enter the code shown in the CAPTCHA and click on Begin Registration. You will be given a confirmation number. Please write this down. If you have to leave this registration process at any time, you can get back into the registration to complete it by putting in the confirmation number that was given to you. Click on OK. The system will then ask you to confirm the name of the parent guardian that's filling out this application. Click on Submit. It's then going to tell you the information needed to complete this registration form and what you'll need to do after you complete it. You will need to meet with the registrar at 932 Long Plains Road in Buxton between March 1st and March 30th. The times for enrollment will be 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. unless otherwise noted. I will show you the times that are available at the end of this. Click on Begin. This is the home number of the student's household that they currently live in. Click on Next. This is the address where the student currently lives. When you start typing in an address, it's going to bring up addresses that meet the criteria you're putting in. If you see your address there, just click on it and it'll fill in all the applicable fields. Otherwise, continue putting in the address. The tag would be like drive, avenue, street, the city, your state, and your zip code. It's going to show you the address that you entered above. Make sure that it is correct. Make any changes necessary. Then you'll need to check whether you own or rent the home or if you have other living arrangements such as living with grandparents, a family friend. If you do, click on the checkbox and then put in exactly what the living arrangements are. Otherwise, if you own or rent, you can click that box and then choose Next. If you do not have a separate mailing address, you can just click on Save and Continue. If you do have a separate mailing address, uncheck the box and enter the mailing address. If it's a post office box, please make sure to check this box right here, indicating it's a post office. Click on Save and Continue when you're done. This is any parent or guardian information, including yourself. So your name is here already. You then need to put in your birth date and your gender. Click here if you've ever attended this district as a student. This is confirming that this is your address. And then click on Next. The contact information, please enter the cell or work phone number, email address where you can be contacted during the day. If you don't have an email address, just choose the Has No Email checkbox. If you have two email addresses you want noted, please put the main one in here and then the secondary one here. And then choose Save and Continue. If there is another parent or guardian that needs to be entered, you'll click on Add New Parent or Guardian. Put in their first name, last name, the birth date, the gender, if they ever attended this district as a student. If they live at this address, the same address that you first entered, you can leave this checked. If they do not live at this address but live in another household, you can uncheck the box and type in their address in here. If you're not sure what their address is, you can type in NA and then choose NA not applicable, and it'll fill in those fields for you. Otherwise, please put the address that the parent or guardian lives at. Click on Next. Again, we need the cell phone, work phone, email address is secondary. If you don't know or aren't sure what their numbers are, these are not required fields. And if you don't know their email address, you can just click on Has No Email Address and choose Save and Continue. As long as you're seeing green check marks here under the completed, you're doing good. If they come back yellow and highlighted with a X or other symbol here, then you need to go back and click on Edit and edit those until they're showing the green check mark. If that's all the parent guardians that you have to list, just click on Save and Continue. This is where you would enter any emergency contacts. These are not people that live in the household. This is somebody like DHHS, a caseworker, and their phone number if your student is in custody of DHHS. It could be a grandparent or a family friend who can be called in case of an emergency and you can't be reached. If you don't have an emergency contact at this time, you can just click on Save and Continue. If you do, click on Add New Emergency Contact. Again, this is not your parent or guardian information and nobody that lives in the household. Click on OK, enter their information, click on Next. At least one phone number is required, home, cell, or work. And if you have an email address for that person, that would also be great. Once you're done, click on Save and Continue. You can enter as many emergency contacts as you like in here. Just go back and click on Add New Emergency Contact again, add the next person, and continue on until you're done, and then click on Save and Continue. This is other household members. So these are people that live in your household but are not students that you're going to be enrolling today. This could be older or younger siblings. It could be a family member who also lives with you. If you don't have anybody else in the household, it's just you and the student or students you will be enrolling today, then you can just click on Save and Continue. Otherwise, you'll click on Add New Household Member. Again, these are not the students that you're going to be enrolling today. Once you're done, you'll click on Save and Continue. Now you're finally going to enter the student that you will be enrolling today. Click on Add New Student, enter their name, gender, and this must be their full legal name as shown on the birth certificate. Middle name is not required. You can supply it if you'd like. Otherwise, it must be their full first name and last name as shown on the birth certificate. Their birth date, the grade they'll be enrolling in, and please mark if they're a foreign exchange student or not. And then click on Next. Race and ethnicity, please choose if they're Hispanic, Latino, and check any of these that apply. Click on Next. This would be the language that the student currently speaks, that the guardian speaks, the first language they ever spoke, the one used at home, and what they use with friends. And then have they ever received ESL, English as a Second Language services. Click on Next. If the student came from another school in the state of Maine, please choose the school from here or homeschool if they came from a homeschool. If it's an out-of-state school, please list the name of the out-of-state school, the city and state the student is from, and the country. If this is a K student who's never been in school before, you don't have to fill these out. If the student has been receiving instruction from 504 or special education, please check these boxes. And this one is required, you must answer it. Is the student currently subject to expulsion or suspension? Go ahead and select no if they're not, and then choose Next. At least one person must be marked as a guardian. This is the relationship between these people and the student. If you start typing in the relationship, they'll start coming up for you. In what sequence? Who should be called first if there's an emergency? then choose Next. On the emergency contacts, how is that person related to this student? And should they be contacted in case of emergency? If so, what number should they be? If they shouldn't be, just put in NA. Choose Next. These are the other people that you listed in the household. How are they related to that person? Choose Next. Health services information. What is your family practice name? We have all of them listed here. Their phone number, your primary physician's name, and what is the preferred hospital? If you have no preference, you can choose hospital, no preference. Choose Next. Does your student have a medical or mental health condition? If yes, please pick which one that is applicable. If it's other, you can put the other in the comment box. If you need to add additional information to any of these, you can choose them and then put additional information in the comment box. Otherwise, choose no medical or mental health conditions if they don't have any. Choose Next. Immunization records must be provided at the time of enrollment. If you are providing them, you can choose one has been immunized and parent will provide documentation. Or if they're coming from another school, you can ask that we request a copy from a previous school. If your student is non-immunized, you must answer one of these statements. You'll either provide written assurance the student will be immunized, or you'll provide a written statement from a physician stating that the immunization may be medically inadvisable. This is required each year. Or that you'll provide a statement that immunization is contrary to your religious belief and that you're opposed to immunization for philosophical reasons. This is also required once a year. If you choose that the student has been immunized and parent will provide documentation, when will that documentation be provided? At the time of registration, if you're transferring from out of state within 90 days, or if you're transferring from within state within 21 days. And then choose Next. This is our release agreement for media usage. Will you allow your students' information to appear on our website along with photographs or examples of the child's work? If you agree, select Yes. If no, select No. Do you agree that the child has permission for use of name, picture, voice, or statements by outside media? If yes, choose Yes. If no, choose No. Select Next. This is our technology release agreement. Please read the policies found at this address regarding student computer and internet usage and safety. Once you have read them, please note that you've read the above policies and understand if you don't wish your student to have internet access, you have to inform the school principal in writing. Choose Save and Continue. If that's the only student that you have to register today, you can click on Save and Continue. If you have another student to register, click on Add New Student and enter that student's information. Once you're done, you can either go back and view what you've entered to make sure everything is correct. You can click on the Application Summary PDF, which will pull up a PDF copy of the application, so you can review it from here. And then you can submit. Again, your student is not fully registered until you meet with a registrar at 932 Long Plains Road. If this is a K-8 student that you're registering, you can call 929-2326. If it's a 9 through 12 registration, you can call 648-7810. Click on Submit. Are you sure that you're ready to submit this registration? Can't change it. Once you have, click on OK. And your registration is complete. Now that your pre-registration is complete, you will need to go to 932 Long Plains Road, Buxton, Maine, to complete the registration process. Until you have gone to see the registrars, the student is not enrolled in the schools. You can contact the K-8 registrar at 207-929-2326 or the 9 through 12 registrar at 207-648-7810. If you're going to GPS our location, please enter 912 Long Plains Road into your GPS system, as entering 932 Long Plains Road will actually take you 5 miles out of the way. We are located in the old Samuel Hansen School building, which is at the end of this driveway to Buxton Center Elementary School. Our office hours are 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. You will need to bring with you birth certificate, immunization records, and 2 proofs of residency, as well as any court documents showing guardianship, if applicable. Thank you.